Lower Shakwa. What?
I just paddled a snapping turtle.
You did?
I slipped in the poor thing.
You hit it?
I hit it like it's also, it's moving. It's not fighting. Poor guy.
Did you just hear that? She put her paddle in and it was a shell of a snapping turtle, so she freaked out.
I hit him hard.
Oops.
Poor guy.
All the lily pads are turning red. Once we got into the open, we stopped for a well-deserved rest and a late lunch.
Oh, this body's too old for this.
Are you making an admission?
My body's too old for this?
So we are on Lower Shakwa Lake. How gorgeous is this place, eh? Look at that. So it is late in the afternoon. We did take our time on that last portage. It was messy and we did a lot to clean it up. The takeout is a little challenging. We were on the floating bog mats and it just felt like they were going to give in any time and you're going to just plunk right down into the depths of that bog. But luckily we only went probably about knee deep. We were just trying to stay on more of the vegetation than anything. But we are out. We are finally out. I've got all kinds of twigs and stuff in my back and now I'm looking at all my bites and scratching them as well. So this is going to be a late lunch, but we're well deserved. I think even Teddy's right in there. So we're gonna have some wraps. I'll show you what we're having for lunch, but it is so nice to be out here. It's obviously the sun's totally out. There's a nice breeze. There is no bugs out here. And so we're just gonna relax, take off our shoes, dry out a bit. And all we gotta do is paddle down over there. There's like probably a 20-meter portage into Shakwa Lake, and that's where we're gonna be staying for the night. So we can take it easy. I'm gonna go filter some water, but Nita is making our wraps for us. So what's on the menu here?
Doggy drool.
Doggy drool.
Definitely doggy drool.
So we got aged cheddar.
Yes.
Right.
Turkey bacon.
Turkey bacon.
Which doesn't look like bacon at all.
Okay. And I'm gonna have cabbage.
And mayo.
You can see this here. There you go. We got we sliced a bunch of this is called red cabbage, I guess, even though it looks purple, right?
Yes. I
And
know
this
that's very
is
hard for you.
the turkey bacon. I don't know if you can see it. It's hard to see. There we go. It's better with the light that way. And there's the cabbage.
No, that's real bacon. That's turkey bacon.
Oh, really? You got a combination of both?
Well, for the cheese buns, I brought bacon.
Oh, okay.
Just to,
All right. I am starving. And mayo, right? You got some mayo?
because otherwise you'll cry like a baby. I know.
I'm high maintenance. No. It's just nice when your mouth is dry to have something that's kind of greasy to eat. So lots of cabbage in mine and mayo and yum. It'll be delicious. So as Anita's making the wraps for lunch, I gotta go filter some water now. I mean, the word we used to say filter back in the day is because that's all we had with filters. Mind you, no, there used to be those nasty iodine tablets. Now, iodine tablets have kind of fallen out of flavor. Well, favor. Sorry, flavor.
Because of the flavor.
And flavor too, because they were nasty tasting. But now they've got chlorine tablets. So I just we ran out of water, so I took an Nalgene bottle, filled it with 1 liter of water from the lake, and Pristine had a liquid version of chlorine that you could put into your liter of water and it would disinfect it. So they've now come up with tablet versions. I mean, they've had it for a while now. So here it is. And so I'm gonna pop one of these in, and what happens is I think you wait about 30 minutes and they're ready to go. So I'm gonna pop one of these in. There we go. Put that in. There we go. Close that up. I'll give it a shake. Do we have time? Do you want to pass me my watch?
Where is your watch?
Right beside the chest bag.
Yes, it's a very late lunch. It's 10 to 4.
10 to 4.
You really need to work on it.
So we'll wait 30 minutes and then it should be good to go. Now, the one little advice I want to give, and so they're in these foil packets, right? And I used to put them in our little snack bag. The problem is they would get mashed, and you could tell because the foil would kind of get, you could see it expands. It kind of looks like this. I don't know if you can see it. But it looks like it's intact. But sometimes the foil can rip, and then it'll compromise the tablet. Now, Jamie, who I went tripping with recently, he had the same tablets in its packet, Teddy, and he put it in his life jacket so that when he needed it, he could just pop them into his water bottle. The problem is they got wet, and I don't think these are waterproof. Well, in fact, I know they're not waterproof. So on his last solo trip, when he went on the trip, he was in the last few days of his trip, he had the runs. Like he was like, you know, he had to constantly go to the washroom. He didn't know what it was. He thought maybe it was something he ate. But now I think we figured out that it was the tablets, because on our trip together, I brought the gravity filter for camp, and I asked him to bring the tablets for on the go. And so I popped one in one day, and I tasted the water, and it was bitter. Like it was bitter, but it was almost like a citrusy bitter. And I've never tasted it like that. And I asked him, like, are these pristine? Like I just asked him what brand they were, and I said, is there something wrong with them? And I looked at the tablet, and you can tell that they had brown, and they kind of looked like they had crystallized inside. And so he told me why, what happened, and it looked like some of them were compromised. But when I looked at all of them, they all looked like they were all compromised, and I think that's why they weren't working. So by the end of his trip, he got, I mean, he didn't get sick, but he just had a bad case of runs, and obviously he cleared out of his system, thankfully. But obviously it didn't purify the water the way it was supposed to. So, word of advice: if you do carry these, first of all, don't let them get wet. Secondly, if they're going to be impacted by pressure, the foil will rip. I mean, it is pretty delicate. So what I've done is I got this little case, hard case, and I just cover it. I break them up into pieces, just like that. I don't know if you can see it. Oh, it might fall out. And I just cover it, and that way it's protected from any pressure, so it will stay intact. So, just a word of advice: if you get these compromised or wet, they may not work the way you want them, and you may get sick, get giardia, or get a bad case of the runs, or whatever the case is. So, and you'll know when you put these in. A normal tasting water with this in has a slight chlorine taste, just like city water. And if it's bad, it will taste like citrus, not citrusy, like it's kind of like a bitter kind of citric taste to it, or something like that. So you'll know right off the bat, it does not taste good. Okay, time to go have my wrap. I'm starving. They're good.
Good?
Mm-hmm.
I won't charge you for it. No, I really should.
Little spider. ride up on an island.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're on Shakwa Lake, and we were looking for a campsite because it was getting later in the day, and we found an island campsite in the Narrows between the two bigger bodies of water, and it's kind of interesting because the island is kind of high, but if you go up the hill, there's a nice flat spot. You can see the tent there. You can see Anita bundled up like as if it was winter.
No, when it's winter, I have my big puffy jacket.
And that's where we came up. I cleaned it up over there just so that there wasn't so much trees in the way. So it's clouded over and the pressure is actually dropping. So we're wondering if there's a front coming in or some rain's coming. But for now, we just had a hot chocolate, got rehydrated while my eye was pissing tears. I don't know what I did to my eye. It was okay after that incident, but it was kind of bothering me now, and it hurts, and it's tearing. So Anita's looked at it, and she saw some damage or whatever. I'm not even sure what it is, but she's gonna put some eye drops in. Oh man, it's tearing like crazy. Sucks. My right eye is aching. I think I kind of irritated it more when I was touching it, but thankfully it's still not bad enough that I have to leave. But I obviously did something to it because it does throb. So I'm just cooking supper, and we're having one of my favorite meals, which is chicken curry. So if you look over here, it's pretty much almost all done. Everything was rehydrated. There's shredded chicken, carrots, potato, onion, and mushrooms. And we got the rice hydrated down here. It's ready to go. And in any minute, we will be eating. Yum! I don't know what you're having for supper. It could probably be a lot better, or it could be worse. So we will indulge in our meal while you indulge in yours, and we'll catch up later. Teddy's waiting for his portion.
Teddy, there's a big bowl over there you can eat.
And now it's supper time. So, did I succeed? Is it good?
Yes, it's really good. Considering I did all the dehydrating and put it together.
But I cooked it.
Absolutely, you're just an amazing rehydrator. And cooking it to absolute perfection. Takes a lot of skill, you know. Rehydrate it and don't make it too watery.
It's perfect.
It's perfect.
We have an agreement. He has taken over the food. So when we trip, I cook and I clean. And she just eats. And critiques me if I don't make it right. She's laughing, but it's true. So we just finished supper. It was delicious. And we've had a little bit of dessert. And sometimes we'll make something special. Or we'll cook something or bake something or whatever. But for the most part, you know, when you finish a day, especially if it's a harder day, you really don't want to, you know, put the effort into making dessert. So quite often what we end up doing is we have chocolate. And I don't know what you guys like. I'm sure everybody likes chocolate, especially on a canoe trip. So the question is, what kind of chocolate do you like? What we often buy is Ritter Sport. I don't know if you can see here. Now this is a limited edition, and Anita bought this from Mec, and it's a blackberry cream. Blackberry cream. That's it. That's the name. Blackberry cream, and it is really good. So I certainly hope that they don't take this out of production. Hope they keep making it because it is actually good. So I don't know what you guys have for chocolate or for dessert. You can comment below. Do you think a couple pieces of chocolate is going to do it? No. Look at that. It's dark chocolate covered almonds. So we're going to indulge a little bit. Sometimes we have a healthier option, which is dried fruit. I actually like prunes. Anita likes apricot. You know what's also good? Figs. Figs are also good. What else do we have?
Mango.
Mango. Mango's actually a really good one too. And that's pretty much it, right? I've had dried cherry. I mean, I guess you could always do that at home. Dry your own fruit and things like that. The nice thing about the store-bought ones is that they put most times they put added sugar, so it makes it extra sweet. It's just probably not as healthy, but who's counting calories here out on a trip?
Especially a trip with you.
Especially a trip with me? Why? Do we tend to lose weight by the time the trip ends?
No, I just need to survive. That's all I need to do.
Alright, so then I need to make up my... Does this mean that I get to eat this all?
Nope. You don't want to live long.
Alright, I will indulge in my chocolate. Okay, it's only 8:15, but I'm actually going to go into the tent and I'll probably fall asleep. I'm a little tired, not too bad, but more so it's my eyes bothering me. Every time I do certain things, it throbs and then it just tears like crazy, and the only thing that really helps is to keep my eyes closed. So with the combination of being a little tired and sore from all the cutting and hacking through the forest, I decided I'm going to turn it in. We were going to have a campfire, but even Anita's tired, so we're gonna get into the tent early and start the day early tomorrow. And we got a little more distance to cover tomorrow. We're going down the Shakwa River. So, all right, time to go in. So, good night, everyone. We'll see you on day 3. It's dark. I don't think you can see us. Anyhow, I know this is a recording. I want you to hear my dog snoring here. And this is what I have to put up with.
Dude, man, when you go to sleep, I have 2, him and you snoring away, okay? So don't even go there.
I don't snore. Holy crap, this little guy's...
Maybe if you didn't work him so hard?
Jeez, this is what I have to try to sleep with. Alright. Good morning. It is day 3. And last night, man, it was hot. Well, at least compared to the night before. The night before, we slept cold. We pretty much had our hats, everything on, just to keep warm. But last night in the tent, it was like 14 Celsius, and we kind of bundled up thinking that it might get cold, but it wasn't. We were literally peeling. I took off my socks, I took off my hat, I took off my sweater, but at least it was comfortable for sleeping. But as you can see, it's not. It was overcast last night, and it's overcast this morning. It's like perfectly still this morning, so quiet. I don't know if you can hear that. There's a pileated woodpecker going on in the distance. I've had some issues with my eye. So far, it looks like it's okay, but even last night when I was sleeping, sometimes when I had woken up, my eye was irritating me, and then it would start to tear again and be in pain. This morning it feels slightly swollen. You probably can't even tell. Maybe it looks like there's a little bit of a bag going on, more so on this eye than that way. But I can still see clearer, I think. But it's irritated, so we're gonna keep an eye on it, and we're gonna see if it acts up, because obviously if it's a big concern, and I'm having a hard time looking out the eye and having a tear and pain, then we might have to go back and find out what's going on. It obviously did something, I just don't know exactly what, and I'm just hoping it's nothing serious. So we're just gonna have breakfast right now. I just got some water boiling, and we're gonna make our way over to Shakwa Lake, Shakwa River, and head down that way. So there seems to be some rapids and falls. I'm kind of excited to see what that all looks like. I decided not to go down to Sandy Lake. I think it's just going to be a little bit too much of a challenge, especially for Anita and Teddy, especially because they haven't been on a trip for quite a long time, and so we'll make the trip a little bit more enjoyable. We do have to go to Happy Cheese Bun Lake. That's the lake that Anita requested me to take her to. Otherwise, so far so good. Hopefully the weather holds. It does seem like there might be some weather coming. The pressure was dropping quite a bit, and I'm surprised it didn't rain last night. Crossing fingers, it stays decent. But take a look. It is still, the canoe's parked there, and it's absolutely gorgeous. There's a lot of radix on this lake, and it's really, really pretty. Let's just pan here to show you the cliffs without my head bulging in there. There we go. Stunning. Okay, time for breakfast. So we're just having a breakfast, but it's not your typical breakfast meal. And I think I'm going to start the society, breakfast against breakfast. Only because we don't eat breakfast meals for breakfast. You know, there's breakfast often tends to be fairly limited. You know, oatmeal seems to be the primary meal. No, pancake is another favorite one, but it just takes a lot of time. And what else do people eat for breakfast that's quick, light, and dry? Like, there's probably toast. Well, I don't know. People don't bring bread.
They always bring English muffins.
Okay, fine, English muffins. But so what we do is we actually eat like supper meals for breakfast. So if you look here, we got shredded beef in a I guess it's a sidekick. It's a which rice was I put the packet away? Crap.
Wasn't it a Singapore? No, it wasn't Singapore. Asian barbecue.
Even barbecue no, rice, not noodle. It's rice. Is there?
I think there's noodle rice.
There's some noodles. Okay. So like you said, it's most people probably, or some people can't stomach this. It's funny that I started this, and a lot of friends that I've tripped with, they actually don't mind it. They don't mind the heartier breakfast because they tend to burn through like things like oatmeal fairly quickly, unless you add a lot of nuts and things that have fat in them. But so this one, you get a lot more salt, which you quite often need because you're sweating so much, and it's heavier. So, and I find it's delicious, but it's just some people have a hard time swallowing this stuff first thing in the morning. But it's good. And let me try this one. This one's got mushrooms in it. So what we'll do is take a sidekick meal, and then we add stuff to it to make it heartier, because it's often just carbs. It's fogging up the lens here. So this one has got an oil focus here. There we go. It's got mushrooms, shredded beef. What else did you put?
Just mushrooms and shredded beef and shiitake mushrooms.
The shiitake mushrooms. That's good. So, I bet you it's not the breakfast you're eating, but we're enjoying ours. So we're just about to get going, and The day was holding, but over in the distance behind me, it might be hard to see with this GoPro, but there's like a fine mist from what looks like over there. It looks like there's some rain coming, so we're getting dressed up ahead of time so that you can keep dressing.
You realize this is very complicated without falling down, eh?
Teddy's already decked out, eh, buddy?
This is the first one to get decked out.
Anita's struggling to get her pants on. So we just want to do this now instead of trying to get our gear on in the canoe. As you know, it's just not as easy. Yeah. Remember, we just have to navigate the rocks. We'll just go slow. Look behind me, you can see there's a huge erratic over there. It's massive. And there's actually boulders all over this lake. You can see one's there behind me over there. There's another one over there. And there's another big one over there. But this one stands out as like just absolutely massive. It's the size of a house, right? Pretty much, I'd say. Yeah.
Why don't you go measure it?
Smart ass. But yeah, so we decided to stop here and get some drone footage of here. Unfortunately, the day is overcast, so hopefully the footage is okay. But it is a stunning lake, and these boulders certainly add to the element of the beauty of this place. So if you ever need to get out on a Crownland location, I totally, highly recommend this place.
Probably so nice to do sticks all around for us.
Right now I'm just at the top of an erratic, a big erratic.